We are all in this world, thanks be to our biological parents, to fulfill a mission. What that mission is, we must discover for ourselves. This discovering is not too easy for all of us. The great majority of us simply float along, subject to the events and circumstances that we find ourselves in. Very few of us set targets or goals for living. Why? Because we are usually not made aware of the reasons why we have been set on the face of this earth at this particular time given to us. At this point in my life, with the help of friends, companions in the journey I am now pursuing, I sat down to look at my circumstances in the eye. I realize that I am a fruit of the confluence of the awakenings, the strivings, and the ambitions of two creatures, my parents, who met and saw harmony in their ambitions, strong enough to make them decide to spend their lives together for a common purpose. This they did, undergirded by a force beyond feelings, beyond emotions, this phenomenon called love. I now focus my recollection on my father, who, busy with the career he had chosen, still had the generosity to spend a significant slice of his day with us, his children. While he dealt with machinery, physics, and trigonometry, he came home to us every night, ready with his laughter, interested in our stories about the happenings in our days, sharing our foibles and our victories and everything that made up our everyday. When we had problems, he led us into what I later learned was an analysis of the situation, so we could come to an appropriate response to whatever it was that challenged our small beings in gigantic ways. At times when we had to cry, he allowed us, going along with our belief that tears may be the only and final answer to our predicaments. It was his wise ways that made us realize that we were recipients of an abundance that lay beyond his efforts at economic pursuits. Paramount to him was for us to develop an attitude of appreciation of things and people, and how they are juxtaposed to form our realities. I cannot tell how he did it, but I know he led us into developing an attitude of wonder at the myriad things in creation, how they all redound to the advantage of all of humanity. My father, my first tutor, taught me by example to bear in my being the spirit of gratitude for all that has come upon us. He led me to see gold in a sunbeam, a future giant mollusk in a tiny shell, a fragrant flower that lay in the heart of a rosebud. He taught my siblings and me that we actually live in a world of unlimited abundance, that we are rich because everything around us had come from a source of limitless love. He made us see our environment as a treasure trove of gifts. My physical father taught me that the source of all that we have is himself a father to us all, who exists in absolute plenty, who gives in unbounded generosity, who, when we falter, is always there with his strong arms, ever supportive, ever forgiving. My physical father, by being a loving father to my siblings and me, was and still is the human version of our God, our supreme creator, who should be the end of all my strivings and my ambitions, because he is now and always will be my ultimate support. And yours too. Our mission? To be with our limitless source, ultimately. Om Shanti.
my Father, my one strength, my one support. Do you know how diseased the whole world is? The Supreme Father is the eternal healer who frees you from all types of illness and sorrow. He is the physician who never gets sick. There is just one medicine to use, just one. Remembrance of the Father. Make Him your only one support. Do you know how the world will heal? Practice this remembrance as often as possible. When I manage to be in the heart of focusing my thoughts, I am absorbed in His being, and I feel current of loving light. It pulls me out of deep amnesia. There is understanding in me, and I am able to see. I see and feel clearly my true state of contentment. No needs, no fear, no unending desires, and I am healed. My Father is my only one strength and one support. And in the light of connecting with the Father are the antidotes to the poisonous bites of deception that strikes like a snake bite. Manipulative ego that promotes the self is the master deceiver. The antidotes: self-respect and generous heart that allows and accepts differences. Ferocious anger, consuming and frustrating. The antidotes: flexibility and accommodation. Self-serving greed with never-ending discontentment. The antidotes: contentment and simplicity. Unending attachment that creates fear and subservience. The antidotes: self-respect and independence. Wellness begins when these antidotes are practiced. I need to stop defending my little me. My little me hides under comfortable habits, returning to my old ways and weaknesses, leaving me unhealed, weaker, and fearful. The greater the fear, the more defensive I become. All this result in less love, more prejudice, more rules to follow. I am thankful for having the understanding and the opportunity to go back to my original health of purity, peace, and happiness. I just need to constantly remind myself of who I am and who my Father is. This focus of awareness no longer causes confusion and fear. And in case they return, you can always go back into His remembrance. The power of this connection keeps me stable and unshakable in the midst of challenges. My Father is my only strength, my only support, always. Om Shanti.